Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Football Manager 26 here with Pirin, Blagoevgrad, here where we are on the road against, and I probably am going to mispronounce this, United in the UEFA Conference League. What is these? What the heck is this called? The Champions Path second qualified round. Is that what we're in? No. I think we're the first qualified round. Yep, there we are. So they are from Finland. We are going to briefly go over our free agency. Nobody we wanted to get rid of has actually left the club in terms of a transfer. We are going to have Kazakov, Dene, Vasiliev, Dachev, Jean Martin, Bastunov, Hutsi, Ibrahim Arsov, Ivanov, and Kostov as our play at 11. Martin we brought in as a defensive midfielder. You can see he can also play a little bit as a center back on the right wing. 28-year-old Brazilian, 6'1". He is making €950 a week. Contract will run through 2030. He's an 11 in marquee, passing, tackling, and technique. He is an 8 in first touch, 10 in dribbling, aggression's 13, positionings of 10, off the ball's 9, right flare is 11, 12 acceleration, jumping reach, as well as natural fitness and pace. Strength and stamina are both 11. Pretty sure he's an upgrade over anything we had last year, because if we looked at where is Zikovic, right? Although he's a little bit, more fit, he's also not quite as fast or as strong. Tackling is a little bit better there. First touch is also a little bit better. So again, Alex is not bad, and he is supposed to be an important player for us, and he's definitely going to play an awful lot. But we wanted to bring Martina to try to bolster our midfield. We also brought Husti in from Hungary, 26-year-old right back to challenge Major, because Major just did not really play very well. He's a little bit taller, he's 6 feet tall. He's an 11 in all marking, passing, tackling, and technique, 11 in crossing, and again 12 to 13 and 11 in most physicals, the only one being, strength. And he can also play a little bit on the right and the left wing. So he does provide us a little bit more depth as well. Arsov, we brought in to be our main center back, 6'5", accelerations of only 10, so that part we'd love to see better, but is what it is. Tackling 12, marking and heading both of 11, strength and stamina of 11 and 12. Jumping reach of 16, so potentially on quarters, he is going to be very, very deadly for us. But again, we brought him in to try to bolster up our back line a little bit, provide a little bit more, potentially more top line talent. You can see Bastunov is definitely going to be playing more in the midfield than he was as a center back at the start of last season. And then we also signed in Ivalo Nedelchev, a 22-year-old, 2.5-star backup goalkeeper for us. 6'6", agility is 16, 12 in punching tendency, 13 in reflexes, 11 in rushing out tendency, 13 in handling. Determination of 17, which is elite. Just brought him in because we felt like there was too big of a drop off from Kostov to Smolansky, and felt like we just needed to have somebody else we could turn to. So this is our club's very first ever match in a European competition. It is year 3 here at Pirin, Blagoevgrad, where we did express an interest in Cluj, which is in Romania, Transylvania. Again, my character is Josef Dracul. If you're unfamiliar, Dracul later became Dracula, Transylvania, Romania. That is where the character's name came from. So it's like an opportunity to potentially, quote unquote, return home. Interviewed for the job. They hired a guy who was managing a smaller club inside of Romania. Didn't get it. We are now 1 year, 357 days away from the expiration of my contract. In terms of the club, we are at 100.7% wage bill, so we are just over the wage bill. We do have a few players transfer listed that hopefully we'll be able to come off our books to get us back underneath it. €787,000 currently. In terms of the board, we could try to get some improved facilities, but we're not going to do that just yet. We are studying for a National C licensure. Bodorov, I believe, was studying to become a better coach as well. And he was handling my attacking. Although right now he is still just 2 stars. You can see Ivan 1.5 star apparently for passing technique, but 2.5 stars for the tactic. Arleem is 2.5 stars. He's also studied for coaching. Mitev, of course, is still our keeper. Curious. I would like to see if we could get him on a coaching course, but last year it always said, hey, he doesn't want it. And then, of course, the Gutev, Gutev, I wasn't sure if that was an R or T, is by fitness coach. They did give us 1 extra coaching staff member, so we do have that out. We did try to sign a loan manager as well. So, yeah, we are on the road here in Finland. You can see Vasilev is wanted by Levski. I don't want to let him go. I mean, obviously, if they come in and they give him enough money, we might not be able to stop them if they hit the transfer release call-outs. But I want to keep him here. You know, we're in Europe. I think if we could keep the team together, we have a good chance of potentially challenging for top 4, which would be the best ever finish we've had in the top flight here in Bulgaria. And I also feel like we have a chance to challenge for one of the 2 trophies, either the Privaliga, or as it's known, the EF Bet Championship or the Kupa Bulgaria. We are going to go hard with tackling on Danny Perez. We need to show them what we're all about. Nene's versatility. He's a brilliant player, and that we're so much better for having him. Things are going well, and you continue to enjoy the confidence of the board and supporters. Can you keep the good times rolling? Everyone's in a really good, positive frame of mind, and I have confidence that collectively we'll continue to do our jobs. Against today, they're a very good team, full of quality. We'll have to be at our best to get anything. Again, very first ever trip to Europe. Does not look like we're going to have any intro music, which is a little bit disappointing. I was kind of hoping for we'd have the little intro for the Euros. Oh, never mind. I spoke a little too soon. I had never gotten to this point at FM26. So, this is, again, say what you will about the game. It's fair to criticize it. But this always does make me nerd out. And again, this is just in the Conference League. This isn't even in, the Europa Conference, or certainly not even the Champions League. So we are starting out wearing our green tops with our white shorts and our green socks, moving to the right of the screen. And again, anything we get, a draw or a victory would be amazing. A defeat would be frustrating and disappointing. But again, first time we've ever been in one of these competitions, we're going to get money for playing in it. And hopefully that money is going to allow us to improve our training facilities, which will allow us to increase our stature within Bulgaria and within European football in general. And of course, once we do have we have the ability to get another coach. Hopefully that'll help with our attack or our defense. And once we get our coaching badge, of course, we will become a better coach as well. They have 3 shots, 1 on target. We have 2 shots, 1 on target. They have 4 quarters. We have 3. Ivanov to Arsov. Passes ahead to Bartim. Back to Arsov. To Ivanov. Bestunov. Down to Husti. Husti tries to play it in. Very good, nice play here. Vasiliev to Kazakov. And it's in. Ivo Kazakov. 1 goal in 1 match. And Pirin, Blagoevgrad take the 1-0 lead here in the 26th minute. Beautiful link-up play. Vasiliev to Kazakov. Beats the keeper at the near post. I wish we could shout some praise. But unfortunately, we cannot shout praise. But again, I think that was one of the issues, again, that hampered us last year, is we had all those injuries to our key players. Kostov, Kazakov, Vasilev, Bestudov all missed varying amounts of time as we play it long here to Vasilev, who plays it up to Kazakov, he's got Husti. Husti's running through. Husti's going to run to the touchline. He's going to stop. He's going to pivot. Gets inside the defender. Passes it to Ahmed Dachev. Scores. And it is 2-0. Pirin, Blagoevgrad. And again, I do think we are a better team. Now, do I think that means we are going to be able to challenge for the title necessarily? I don't know. Of course, if we do continue to advance in the Conference League, that does also mean that depth that we have, that I'm very proud of, that I think we have a little bit of now, that is going to get challenged then because injuries will definitely happen, fatigue will definitely happen. But early on, we do have a 2-0 lead. It would be amazing if we could see that out through the whole of the first half. Again, this is a 2-leg process. If we could just advance to the group stage itself, that would be massive. We have 2 minutes of stoppage time. Dache passes it back to Ibrahim. Bestudov. Ibram. Dadchev, who scored a goal. Nene, back to Dadchev. Dadchev is going to try to drive in. Stops, pivots to Nene. It's in. Oh, Kazakov has it deflected. I thought maybe we were going to get a penalty for the tackle. The ball stayed in play. Kazakov wasn't quite able to beat the keeper as he deflects it out. That would have been a brace, and it also would have put us up by 3. 2-0 is kind of a weird scoreline here. I'll say well done on controlling possession. We're doing exactly what we want. A lot of players played well. Kazakov, 7.5. Dachev, 7.6. 7.1s for Martin and Vasilev. Hutsi with a 7.6. Now, Major, we are going to try to play on both sides. Now, Major is somebody we have transfer listed. We have transfer listed him and said, hey, do we need him? He makes, I think, 1,100 euros a week. Obviously, that's a lot of money where potentially we could sign, a player or two to try to, build up a little bit more depth. I feel like our center back position right now, because we have Patientov, I think we have enough center back depth. I think we have enough midfield depth. We still might want to find somebody who can play on the wing. We are going to just go to the second half now. And again, this is a big chance because we do have them at home for the second leg. If we could see this out, I think this is massive. Now, I will we be able to see it out? I don't know. Dadchev is getting tired. Vasilev is getting tired. Bestudov is also getting tired. Now, on that note, we are going to go in here and make a few subs. Zakovic will come in for Bestudov because Bestudov, of course, did get injured and he just came back at the very end of the season. Nene is not playing super duper impressively. Sodarev can play really crappily over there. Ivanov can play really crap. I mean, he didn't really improve at all, to be frank. Petrov. Okay, so Petrov can play not great, but he can play a little bit over there. And I don't know if I love that, but that's what we'll go with for right now. Yeah, and Bokalski still being injured does make it a little bit difficult for us. But again, Petrov is going to go down that left side. He can play there a little bit. He's not completely bad at that, in that role. We are going to get Jean Martim off. We'll get Nene or Vasiliev off, and then our fifth. Well, I guess we could get both wingers off, but pause. All right. Soderov will come in there. So we do have a fresh midfield. Okay, fine. We'll let Milishev come in there because Nene's played at a 6.46. And then the other good thing is that like this does give us the ability to tell these people is like, hey, you guys played. Husti has had a great debut, but we will let Major come in. We will let Major come in and get some experience in Europe because he is transfer listed. Ideally, this gives him a little bit of value moving forward as we're at 73, but it's still 2-0 Blagoevgrad, where it does look like we're going to see this through. In a perfect world, right, we would have got up another goal or two, but with the return match at home, I do think we were the better team as we have almost 60% of the possession. They have 12 shots, we do just have 10, but we have 8 on target to their 3. Arsov is going to pass it back here to Ibram. He's going to try to play it long down to Petrov, who plays it quick up to Bilashev. Plays it back to Ibram, to Petrov. Back to Ibram. And again, look at like if we keep Major, long pass to Vasiliev, and he hits it in. Velislav Vasiliev gives us a 3-goal lead here at the 84th minute. Beautiful ball there by Petrov. And that obviously puts the victory in hand. It also gives us a 3-goal lead on the aggregate. I do think we're going to advance past the first round. I can't remember I know we said we wanted to try to be competitive here in the Conference League. Beautiful long ball right off the head. Beautiful play. Not the pass I would have expected Petrov to be able to make, to be honest, but great ball. And that might be a position that he plays in because we still have Pashidov, Dimitrov. Bliznikov can play a little bit as a center back, especially now that he's getting older. And it is a 3-0 win for Pirin Blagoevgrad. Dominating performance. Very clean, 3-0. That's what you need to do. That's about as comprehensive as he gets. We've blown them away. That is what we need to do. Go out there, get that 3-0 victory. Where you're always confident. I obviously never believed for Fernando was thinking we weren't going to get the win. You must be happy with that win. We execute the gameplay to perfection. Well, absolutely. I mean, we won 3-0. It was relatively straightforward, relatively easy. We do have the Conference League to kick off. Martin, of course, made his debut. Andreas played well. I could be happier. He was outstanding. Vasiliev picked up the player of the match. He was outstanding. It's the first I heard of that transfer because we're out of money. That is like the only reason, to be honest, why I would even consider leaving at this point, at least this year. Is the fact that, again, as a small club in a smaller league in a relatively small country, we just don't have a big budget. We just do not have the budget, to really, bring people in and, take a leap forward. But again, why the board says we want to build out through the youth, which makes a lot of sense. It really, really does. So a very nice opening day victory. 768,000 euros. Again, financially at the end of the year, expected to have 103,000 euros. But so again, I don't think that's enough money to turn around and say, hey, we're going to be able to build facilities. So that's where, Europe really comes into play. All right, so if we go into the rules, first qualifying round, 100,000. Loser prize of money, 150,000. Second qualifying round from the main path. 100,000 appearance money. Wait. Sorry. I'm looking here. First qualifying round, 70 teams. Second qualifying round, there's 72. How do we get 2 more teams? Then we get the third qualifying round, still another 100,000. That it goes down to 50. So, how do we go up to 2 teams? Where do the other 2 teams, the champions path, they come in the qualifying round, but also shouldn't it go down to 35? I'm a little confused, to be honest. It's been a long time since I played in the Conference League. How it all works. But anyways. We eventually get down to the round of 16. Get 800,000 euros for appearing in that. If we make it to the knockoffs, that's 200,000. League phase. Right, if you finish in the top 8, you would also get 1.2 million. Obviously, again, that's nothing compared to the Champions League. But even if you finish 36, you get 28,000. So I think we're going to get at least 100,000, which will definitely help the budget. And then if we're able to advance it all, in the Kupa and in Bulgaria proper, that would also be a big thing. Are we actually able to ask for a new contract? No. Too much time remaining. And then also probably a little bit too soon, I guess. As it was February 26th, we got it. 390 euros after taxes, 3.2% of the overall wage budget. So we're going to take a break. We'll do the training, leading into the second leg. Then we'll probably play at home and hopefully have our first sellout, which again would also help the club in terms of finances. And again, this is really all it is. This is all it's about, is trying to improve our stature, increase our attendance, increase our pull and, fans, increase the revenue any way we can, and then kind of go from there. But anyways, we will do that week of training and then we will be back.